to example 2, the directions say factor the following polynomials completely. Remember to check your answers by graphing or multiplying. So just like when we solve systems of equations, hypothetically we should be able to get all these problems correct if you check your answers. So remember to look for GCFs, special patterns. Okay, so this is just a mishmash of tons of different types of problems, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 from each set of 6, and then you guys are going to try the other 3. So I'm going to start with A. Okay, so for A, I notice I have a middle term. GCF looks like it can only be a 1. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to factor to an x and an x. Then I need 2 numbers that multiply to 14, so I could do 14 and 1. Is there any way to get to a negative 5x by adding a plus or minus sign? Nope, so I'm going to erase this. And maybe I'll try a 7 and a 2. Multiply your insides, 7x and a 2x. Is there any way I can put a plus or minus sign in front? And the answer would be yes. So we're going to do a minus and a plus. So this looks correct. So my correct factorization is x minus 7, x plus 2. I will move on to, let's do letter C together. So letter C, what I noticed is I have 2 terms of binomial. First thing I'm going to want to do is factor out my GCF of negative 2. So I'm going to factor out negative 2. And I want to factor out a negative 2, not a positive, because I want this term right here to be positive. If I would have factored out a positive 2, it would be negative x squared plus 16. And that doesn't get me anywhere. I can't factor that. So then what I'm going to do is I have negative 2. This looks like a difference of squares, because the square root of x squared is x, square root of 16 is 4. So I can factor to x plus 4, x minus 4. And that's as far as I can go. Okay, I guess I will try E with you guys. So when I look at this, I see some big numbers. First of all, I see that I can factor out a GCF of 3, so I'm going to do that. Okay. Now x squared plus 7x plus 12 doesn't look like a special pattern, so what I'm going to do is just try to factor into 2 binomials. So I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply to 12. If I tried 6 and 2, that's going to be a 6x and a 2x. That does not equal 7, so I'm going to erase that. Remember, using your eraser is fine. So now I'm going to try a 4 and a 3. 4x, 3x. Can I get to 7? Yep. So here's my complete factorization. So what I want you to do is pause the video, and I want you guys to try to factor B, D, and F completely. And then unpause the video when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, so for B you should have gotten x plus 9, x minus 9. Again, there's no middle terms. They've canceled, so you know your answers need to be conjugates of each other. For D, this is a special pattern. You should have gotten 3x to the 4th quantity squared, or I would also accept just 3x plus 4 times 3x plus 4. And then for F, first we have to factor out a GCF of 2x, because while it is 2 terms, I can't use the difference of squares because square root of 8 is not a perfect square and neither is 50. But when I factor out a GCF of 2x, I'm now left with 4x squared minus 25. Square root of 4x squared is 2x. Square root of 25 is 5. So then I can make these conjugates. And there we have our complete factorization. Don't forget, you got to make sure you put the 2x out front as well. So when you're ready, move to the next video and we're going to finish the notes.